The Gloucester Javelin stands as one of the most distinctive and important British jet fighters of the Cold War era, a twin-engine, delta-winged all-weather interceptor designed to defend the United Kingdom from high-altitude threats during a time of growing global tension. This note offers a detailed narrative of its reviews, specifications and features, explaining its strengths, shortcomings and contributions to British air defense. The aircraft was developed during the late 1940s and early 1950s, a period when radar technology, jet propulsion and weapons systems were evolving rapidly. The Royal Air Force needed an interceptor that could operate in all weather conditions, fly at high altitude, and engage enemy bombers regardless of time of day or environmental visibility. The Javelin was built to meet those demands, becoming the last aircraft produced by Gloucester and one of the most unusual designs ever to enter RAF service. The Javelin's design featured a large delta wing, tall fin and twin engines buried in the fuselage, giving it a heavy, powerful and imposing appearance. This configuration allowed for excellent stability at high altitude and provided strong lift, making the aircraft capable of climbing rapidly to intercept intruding aircraft. Delta wings were still a relatively new concept at the time, but they offered several performance advantages, including structural strength, internal fuel capacity and aerodynamic efficiency. The Javelin's shape gave it strong presence on the ground and a smooth, solid ride in the air, though it also created challenges related to drag and acceleration at low altitude. The aircraft was powered by two Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire turbojet engines, each providing significant thrust and reliability. These engines gave the Javelin a maximum speed just below the speed of sound and the endurance needed for long patrols. It was not as fast as later supersonic interceptors, but it was built primarily to climb quickly, remain on station and use radar-guided weapons to destroy enemy bombers. Pilots appreciated the engine power, the twin-engine safety and the aircraft's ability to maintain control in bad weather or turbulent conditions. The Sapphire engines were known for their durability and consistent performance, contributing to the Javelin's strong reputation as a dependable defender in the early Cold War years. One of the Javelin's most important features was its advanced radar system. As an all-weather interceptor, the aircraft relied heavily on radar to identify and track targets at night or through cloud cover. Different variants carried improved radar sets, each offering better range, clearer target returns and more reliable operation. The Javelin's nose housed the radar unit, and its design allowed the aircraft to detect incoming bombers long before visual contact. This capability set it apart from fighter aircraft of the previous generation, marking a major shift toward electronically assisted air combat and ground-controlled interception missions. Armament varied across the Javelin's many variants, reflecting the rapid pace of weapon development during its service life. Early models carried four 30mm Aden cannons, powerful weapons capable of delivering heavy damage in close-range engagements. As air combat doctrine evolved, later Javelins were fitted to carry air-to-air missiles, including the Firestreak infrared-guided missile. This allowed the aircraft to engage targets beyond gun range and improved its ability to penetrate bomber formations. Some variants also carried under-wing fuel tanks or additional equipment for extended patrols or specialized missions. The combination of radar, guns and missiles made the Javelin a versatile and strongly armed interceptor for its time. Inside the cockpit, the Javelin featured a two-seat arrangement, with a pilot in the front and a radar observer in the rear. This partnership was essential for effective all-weather operations. The pilot focused on flying and combat maneuvers, while the observer interpreted radar returns, managed navigation and coordinated interception vectors. The cockpit was equipped with modern instruments for jet-age flight, offering good visibility and a relatively comfortable environment compared to earlier fighters. Pilots often commented that the aircraft felt large and heavy but stable, a machine that demanded respect but rewarded careful handling. The two-crew design significantly reduced workload in complex conditions, making the Javelin highly effective in its intended defensive role. Operationally, the Javelin served throughout the 1950s and 1960s during a time when the threat of Soviet long-range bombers was a major concern. The aircraft operated primarily from RAF bases in the United Kingdom, but it also served in overseas deployments, including Germany, Cyprus, and the Far East. Its presence provided reassurance to Allied forces and contributed to NATO air defense strategies. Although the Javelin never engaged in major air-to-air combat against enemy aircraft, it participated in several significant operations, including the Indonesia-Malaysia confrontation. During these deployments, the aircraft demonstrated solid reliability, effective climbing performance and strong readiness. Despite its strengths, the Javelin was not without criticism. Some pilots found it underpowered in certain situations, particularly during high-speed maneuvers where the delta wing produced drag that limited acceleration. The aircraft's maximum speed remained below Mach 1, making it slower than the supersonic fighters that soon followed, such as the English Electric Lightning. Early variants had handling issues at high angles of attack, sometimes leading to deep stalls. These problems were addressed in later improvements, but they contributed to the aircraft's mixed reputation in comparison to more agile or faster fighters. Even so, the Javelin proved to be a stable, capable and dependable interceptor that excelled in the specific mission for which it was designed. It helped bridge the technological gap between early straight-winged jet fighters and the advanced supersonic interceptors of the 1960s. Its radar, missile systems and all-weather capability represented important steps in the evolution of British air defense. Moreover, its two-crew operational concept influenced later aircraft that relied heavily on electronic detection and engagement systems. Today, the Gloucester Javelin remains a fascinating aircraft for aviation historians and enthusiasts. Several preserved examples can be found in museums, showcasing its distinctive shape and powerful twin-engine layout. The aircraft stands as a symbol of Cold War innovation and the efforts of British engineers to create a reliable and advanced interceptor during a period of rapid technological change. Although eventually outclassed by faster aircraft, the Javelin played an essential role in protecting airspace and demonstrated that a well-designed all-weather fighter could serve as the backbone of national defense. This note provides a complete narrative overview of the Gloucester Javelin, covering its design, features, specifications, operational history and legacy. Viewers interested in Cold War aviation, British military aircraft or the evolution of interceptor technology will find the story of the Javelin both informative and compelling, highlighting a unique aircraft that combined innovative engineering with solid defensive capability during a critical era in aviation history.